Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a new Chatty Get Ready With Me. I'm going to be using all the products in my November Shop My Stash bag. Welcome to November. So crazy it's here. Yesterday's video was a part of my Shop My Stash series where I went over all of my picks for October and gave my thoughts on them, and I also showed you what I chose out for November. The first Friday of every month I do a Chatty Get Ready With Me using my Shop My Stash bag. So I'll have my playlist linked down below, as well as yesterday's video if you want to see all the products that I'm picking out, because really in today's video I don't touch on the makeup at all. I definitely have a lot to say today. I have a lot of different topics that I'm discussing, a lot about internet, social media, you know, being an influencer or just having a platform on social media in general, kind of the fears that can come along with that. I kind of give an update about my mental health. I know a lot of you have been messaging me with some worries and concern, so I'm chatting about that a little bit too. But I have a lot to say. I have a feeling this is going to be a really long video, but I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you take something away from it. And why don't we go ahead and get started? Hello. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Ooh, I'm really almost out of this primer. Come on. Okay. I've been pretty open about when I'm struggling with mental health and all of that, and for a couple of years now with being on YouTube, but it's still hard every single time to say I'm struggling. It's just hard. It's hard to say it to my husband. It's hard to say it to my friends. It's hard to say it to the internet. It's just hard to say it in general. And I mentioned this a little bit in my live chat from earlier this week. I do a live chat on Tuesdays on my channel, and I talked about it at the end of my Will I Buy It that went up on Wednesday. I do have to say that I've been so flooded with messages, and I'm so appreciative of them, of the DMs and the emails and the Twitter comments and the YouTube comments, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm trying to spend today to get caught up on everything, because I really took Wednesday off. I'm filming this on Thursday. I really took Wednesday off. I wasn't in comments. I wasn't in DMs. I wasn't in my emails. I wasn't looking through my comment section coming in on the Will I Buy It video, even though I knew I probably should be, because like from what I was saying in there, I figured there was going to be some like angsty comments going on, but I was like, you know, I just need a day off from this. But I'm trying to get caught up on them today, and I do just want to say thank you, because feeling cared about is something that's, it means so much to me. Let me just say that. It's kind of hard with mental health because there's really no why to when you're feeling down. You know, it's a question that I get a lot, is like, okay, so you're struggling right now, or you're not in the best place with mental health. Why? What's going on? You know, what is it? What can we change? What can we fix? And it's really not that cut and dry. A lot of times it makes no sense to me why I get so sad. Things are going great. Things are going well. Everything's happy. But I'm so sad. Right? It doesn't make sense. And I know that there's been a few things that I've been struggling with. Like, I know I'm under a lot of pressure with my book. I know there's some different things happening in my personal life that I'll probably touch on one day. But for the most part, everything is going pretty smoothly. What's weird is that I tend to not notice right away when I'm feeling sad, because I'll have a day where I'm like, oh, kind of sad today, but like, it's just an off day. You know, everyone has an off day or whatnot. And then the next day will come and I'm like, man, you know, I'm not feeling the best, like kind of feeling sad. And I'll think like, oh, I didn't get good enough sleep last night, or, you know, oh, I didn't hit all my to-do list yesterday, and that's what's kind of frustrating me. It takes me several days to realize, oh no, you're just sad right now, and you just need to give yourself a break. You need to focus on your self-love and your self-care. And I think that I'm getting a little bit better at it, and kind of what I was saying in my Will I Buy It video is that I can recognize my symptoms a little bit quicker now, a little bit easier now, and I also allow myself to take a break. In the past, I would be really bad at taking a break, because a lot of things that I do, YouTube, writing books, you know, all of this, I choose to do it. This is my choice. No one's making me do this. I do this. And so I always think like, this is what I love doing and this is what helps me. Like, I need to keep going and I need to keep pushing through even when I'm sad. And I've learned over the years that it's okay to take a break, because I need to focus on myself. I need to focus on my self-care. And especially as I get more into YouTube and the beauty community and the comments and the trolls and the nastiness that comes with this part of being on the internet, I have to give myself a break, because I have found myself thinking some really weird thoughts when I let things affect me too much. And I really need to take that break of just getting off social, not reading the comments, not reading the DMs, even though I know there's, you know, so many supportive ones and those can really help. But I need time just for me, just me, you know, not even like my husband, not even family, not even friends, just me. And focus on that and reset and make sure that I'm okay. So that's one thing I want to say if anyone is struggling with mental health. I know it's really a learning process. You have to learn yourself. You have to learn your own triggers and your own symptoms and really learn what is best for you, because we're probably all going to handle it differently. But one thing that I struggled with was giving myself that break and really taking that time to focus on me. So that's one thing that I've learned, and that I don't feel guilty anymore when I say I'm taking a break. Even though I still get comments from people saying like, you don't love what you do, or you've changed, you've not used to do this. Like, I'm not going to feel shame, because I'm putting myself first. When I'm going through a rough time, anything can get to me. When like I mentioned in the Will I Buy It video, when I'm in a weak spot, or when I'm feeling vulnerable, or when the voices in my head that tell me I'm a terrible person are getting a little bit too loud, everything will get to me. It just feels, when I'm struggling, it feels like everyone is out to get me. And I don't even mean like people, I mean like TV commercials. I mean, today, I'm filming this again on Thursday. The Nationals won the World Series last night. I was sobbing watching the end of Game 9. Why? Don't know. I'm a baseball fan, not a Nationals fan, not an Astros fan. Don't really care for anybody on either team. Sobbing watching that because I was happy. Like, I was happy and I was seeing so much joy and excitement. But at the same time, I'm also seeing the really sad Astros players and the fans, that they're looking heartbroken. And I'm feeling so many different emotions. I'm just sobbing watching this. Like, it makes no sense, okay? So that's why when I say like I can't be in the comments, or when I was talking about like reviewing an eyeshadow palette and not being able to take the comments and the drama that I know will come with reviewing it, like that's what I mean. There's so many times where when I'm, you know, in a better spot, that truly I feel like I can handle the comments pretty well. I can delete comments that I don't think are necessary to be there. I can block people who I just know are, you know, wouldn't vibe with the Sam squad. There's so many days where it's just like, nope, brush it off, nope, brush it off, nope, brush it off. But when I am feeling vulnerable, I can't brush them off, and they exacerbate the voices that are already telling me I'm a terrible person. It just makes them louder and louder and louder. I've learned throughout the years, if there is something that I don't feel, you know, comfortable posting, and I worry about, you know, things like backlash and whatnot, then I'm just not even gonna do it. I'm not even gonna touch it, because it's not worth it to me. I know that I'm a strong person. I know that I am, but I do have my limits, right? Something that I wanted to talk about, and I wasn't sure, like, do I talk about it in a YouTube video? Really not sure how to handle it, but I was like, you know what, I will, because I share a lot online, so I was like, why not? And I really took a big lesson away from this, so I thought I would share it. So last Saturday, I was at home. It was late at night. We had a dinner with some friends, and it's later at night. We are leaving very early in the next morning to go down to Kansas City for the Chiefs-Packers game. Got home at night. I was still working on editing a video. I was still working on some different book stuff. Like, I had a bit to do before bed. And one thing that I also wanted to do was to try to catch up on comments. I knew that I'd been falling behind on my comment section. And it's probably like 10 or 10:30 at night at this time. Just going through the comments, and I see someone had wrote in and was like, And it was a very nice comment, don't get me wrong. It was very nice, worded very nice. I took it very, very politely, but I can remember reading it and just thinking like, oh no, what have I done? And it said that there is a Reddit thread about me, my favorite place, Reddit, about how I sell my PR. And I just remember getting that feeling of just like being punched all over the place. And I'm just thinking like, oh no, like, great. Because like I've been in Reddit threads before. I used to read things about myself. Like I used to Google myself. I Googled myself and I saw something in Reddit, like I would read it and then I would want to harm myself because I mean, people just get so intense over there. And so I'm like, fantastic. And I wrote back and, you know, I was like, you know, thank you for bringing it to my attention and thank you for doing it so kindly because, you know, I've had people in the past, especially on Reddit, when the other thing in the past was like, I used a filter on my videos because I had the Sony a5100 and I couldn't figure out how to turn off the setting that helped with like the skin smoothing. I mean, I would get like the worst comments on my videos about like, you're a fake and you're trying to, you know, manipulate us and like, I don't know, just all these different things that was just wild and crazy. So this was such a politely worded comment. I was so thankful for that. And, you know, so I wrote back and said, you know, thank you. And, you know, thank you for being so kind when you're asking me. I was like, just to ask, like, is this a recent thing? Is this from a while ago? Like, because that was the first time I was getting notified of that, I guess I'll say. So I was kind of a little bit confused and she was really polite and she wrote back and she actually did include the thread, which I didn't click on. And really I just don't want any interest in that. I should, and I should read it and I should know what's going on, but honestly I don't care because it's probably not, I don't know if I want to say it's not worth my time, but it's not worth my energy and my self-care to read stuff like that about me. Like, it's just not. But again, she was very nice and I even wrote back, I was like, you know, I'm trying to decide if I should address this in a video or whatnot, and obviously ultimately I've decided that I am. But and then it was a couple days later, another comment came in of someone saying like, I'm seeing a rumor on Reddit that you sell PR, like, can you talk about it? And again, very nice comment. Literally, I've had no rude comments come in yet, so like it's like super weird. So I remember that night just feeling horrible, just feeling like, I don't know, people are now gonna hate me. There's now Reddit threads about me, like, fantastic. I couldn't sleep that night, which sucks because we had to get up so early and then drive 4 hours to Kansas City and then be with friends the entire day and then go to a 7:30 p.m. game, and like, it was a seriously long day. Couldn't sleep that night. When I get really stressed or just like emotional or anything like that, I tend to throw up, which sucks. So I threw up that night, which was not enjoyable, especially because I'd eaten a lot of buffalo chicken dip earlier that day when we were with friends, so that wasn't the best. It's just, I don't know, it's just something my body does. It's how my body handles stress, I guess. I throw up because I'm just, you know, I'm starting the point where I'm starting to beat myself up and I'm starting to think that everyone hates me. And again, literally, no mean comments have come in about this. 2 very politely worded comments of people just like asking, hey, what's up, or would you address this? But my mind goes do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. And it's just like, you're the worst person, you're the worst person, you're a terrible person, you don't deserve this. My mind tells me a lot, I don't deserve things. And I really gotta watch out for that. My mind will tell me I don't deserve my career, I don't deserve any success, I don't deserve my friends, I don't deserve my marriage. My mind tells me that a lot, so I gotta be careful with that. And so, of course, all these thoughts are going, I can't sleep, I'm throwing up, I'm like, everyone hates me. So the next day we're driving down to Kansas City and Mitch is asking me what's going on and I'm telling him, and I was like, apparently there's, you know, this thread about Reddit. And then, so I'll back up a little bit before I get into my conversation with Mitch. So I guess the thing is that people are saying like I sell PR on my Poshmark. I do have a Poshmark account. I sell a lot of my clothes on there because I do have quite a bit of clothes and I like to buy clothes. Every once in a while, if I am doing a makeup declutter, a lot of times I'll get asked in the declutters like, will you sell anything on Poshmark so we can buy it? And I've always said in there, I don't sell my PR. I know some some YouTubers that do, and I understand their argument, because I've had like actual conversations with people about this of like, you know, what's the right or wrong thing to do. And I understand where some YouTubers are coming from, that they're saying that's kind of like their form of payment almost, because a lot of times, especially if you're a smaller YouTuber, like you're not getting paid. Look at PR, and if they can resell it, like that's their payment. I don't know. Again, I mean, everyone's different and everyone has their own code of ethics and morals that they follow. For me, I just think if I get stuff in PR and I'm not using it or opening it or swatching it, I like to give it away. I run giveaways all the time. I donate a lot of makeup. I bring boxes of makeup to girls' nights. I bring boxes of makeup to family get-togethers. I pack suitcases, like I'm getting ready to go to Thanksgiving once again with my family in Alabama. Last year, I packed half of our checked bag was full of makeup and skincare for my family. This past summer, I did a foundation declutter on my channel. And once I got done, like even as I'm doing a declutter, I'm dividing it into piles of like, this is stuff that's just like old, expired, almost gone, you know, can get tossed. This is stuff that, you know, I got in PR, but I can send it along as, you know, gifts, or I can see if friends or family want something that has been used or has been swatched or whatever it may be. And then I have the products that, you know, I bought myself and that I am able to put up on Poshmark. Anyways, I do this foundation declutter and I have my different piles, and I remember putting some foundations on Poshmark and going through everything and, you know, just like listing everything out. And I got to one foundation and I put it up. I was getting ready to hit publish, and then a thought came over me and I was like, I think I bought this. And I was like, something was like niggling at me, but I couldn't figure out what it was. And I was like, I know I've never received PR from this brand. I was like, no, so I think I bought it. And, you know, I was rushing myself, and I've talked about this before too in the past about how sometimes I get so excited about things, or, you know, something along those lines, where I rush myself before like doing everything properly. It's something that I try to learn from, but obviously I still struggle with it. And I posted it, and it was a few days later actually that I thought of it. It was a product that was sent to me from Octoly, which is where bloggers can request products from brands to be able to review. But one of their things is that you don't like give away or sell. Like, I'm pretty sure that's in the terms and conditions from being on Octoly. And I remember it clicking in my head, and I was like, oh no. And I went and I took the foundation down right away, because I'm like, gosh, you know, I'm not trying to get in trouble either with Octoly. I don't want to get, you know, my account taken away and, you know, all of that. So the foundation hadn't sold, but I deleted it off my account. But I'm, you know, catching myself making a mistake, and I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed with my Poshmark, just kind of in general. It's a lot to keep up with the account. Poshmark is just like any other social media account. You really have to be like engaging in Poshmark in order to do well and sell. You need to be following people back and liking things and constantly sharing your closet. Like, it was to the point where I was sharing my closet 3 times every day, going through and resharing each item or dropping prices so, you know, it gets sent out to other poshers, or just different things like that. There's a lot that goes into it that you don't always hear about. I know some people, you know, talk more in depth about Poshmark, but that was something that I had learned, and I was just feeling kind of overwhelmed with it, and like the different photos, so like things sell well, and then obviously of course like shipping and packing everything. I knew that I'd been feeling already kind of overwhelmed with it, and then I, you know, caught myself making that mistake, and I was like, you know what, I don't even like trust myself right now. I don't know if I can rely on my memory. I don't know if, you know, every single time I want to post an item, can I go back and search through, you know, YouTube videos or Instagram posts or messages or whatever it may be, just to like make sure that I'm doing the right thing. I was like, I don't know. So to my mind, what I said was, I can't guarantee that I won't make another mistake in the future, so I'm just gonna stop with Poshmark. And so the last items that I like posted for sale was from that foundation declutter. And there was a few times after that that I would like share an item, because like if Poshmark would send out a thing saying like, oh, the Best in Jeans party is starting, I would go through and I would share all of like the jeans that I had listed. I would share them to the Best in Jeans party, because then it would pop up and I'd be going in that party and like liking things and following people and all of that. And I think I did that maybe a couple times after that, but then I really haven't touched my Poshmark since probably I think August was the last time that it said I like shared a pair of shoes or something. And in my mind it's like, well, it's because I don't want to make another mistake, you know, even though like nothing happened at the time or whatever, no one was like, hey, you did this, I still knew that I had made it and I was able to fix it and correct it. But what if I were to make that again? So I was like, I'm just not gonna use my Poshmark anymore, because you know, I'm afraid I'm gonna mess up. And then this thread comes about, or this, you know, this comment comes about that there's this Reddit thread and all of that. And what made me like think right away was like, yep, I've made mistakes again. Like, and now people are like, you know, someone caught it or someone's out there like actively looking for it. That's great. Like, that makes me feel like trash. So that sucks. And so getting back to the conversation that I had with Mitch when we were driving down to Kansas City, I'm telling him this, and I'm like, you know, people aren't gonna trust me anymore, you know, people are gonna hate me, like the hate's gonna start rolling in from Reddit anytime now, and all of these different things. And he's looking at me and he's like, I just remember talking to him about it because he's like so confused. And I explained to him like, you know, obviously he knows, like he sees, especially like when we go to family gatherings and I bring a box of makeup, when I go see our friends and I bring multiple boxes of makeup for people to use, he's seen, like he's helped me pack my car to be able to take donations places. Like he's like, I'm really confused, like back up what? One thing that he said, because there'll be times where like I have gotten very large boxes of PR with like every single foundation shade, right? And there's been times where Mitch has been like, so can you sell those? And I'm like, no, you know, I don't sell my PR. And, you know, if they're brand new, I'd rather just send them out to some people or give them away, or I can, you know, do different giveaways and have people select their shades and all of that. And he's like, darn, because that could be like a lot of money. I'm like, I know. And so he's flashing back to those conversations where he sees me get so much stuff and all I do is give it away and gift it. And he's like, so out of all of that, out of that you do, he's like, if you sold products inadvertently, you know, making a mistake again, I have to own up to it. And I do. I will make mistakes. Promise you. There's one thing I can promise, is that I'm going to make mistakes. But he's like, if there's, you know, a few things that you've inadvertently sold that have already been like, you know, used and everything like that, and you're obviously not getting a ton of money for them, he was just like confused. He's like, I'm just confused as to where the problem is, because you're not selling, you know, the huge PR packages, you're not selling brand new products that have never been opened, you're not like, that's not what I'm doing when I get my PR. And I try so hard to gift and give and donate and all of that, that I need help with that alone. Like shipping all of my giveaway boxes, packing my giveaway boxes, just keeping everything straight. Like I need help with that, because I run so many giveaways, I gift so many different things, I donate so many different things. It's hard to keep it all straight, and it's hard for me to find time to pack and ship and do all of that in regards to everything else that it is that I'm doing. It's a big reason why I've been trying to find an intern. I have one starting for me in November, which I'm super excited about, a high school senior. I've been trying so hard to find an assistant or an intern or someone, because I know that I can't do it all myself, and I'm getting very overwhelmed. And when you get too overwhelmed, or when you take too much on your plate, you can make mistakes. And so he kind of reminded me of that. And it's not that, like, I'm not here to just even like defend myself, even though, I don't know, like I feel like if Mitch was on this video with me, he'd be like the one like severely defending me. But I was like, okay, Samantha, sit down and think about it. Because, you know, like I said, the voices in my head are telling me I'm terrible and I'm awful and I don't deserve anything and I'm the worst person ever. And it's like, I know how much I get. I know how much I give away. And again, I don't get a PR package and I'm like, ooh, look at all these brand new unopened goodies. You could probably sell that for a lot of money. A brand new, hot off the presses release, yeah, that could probably sell for a lot of money. And instead, I'm selling products that I've decluttered because I've used them. And, you know, obviously I have to like mark them as used and all of that. It really helped me kind of like settle down and remind myself that I'm not the worst person ever, right? Like, he really helped me with that. So again, I don't want to come across as like super defensive or like, but I'm just trying to explain what happened, why I've, you know, made a mistake, and what it is that I try to do. I don't show everything that I get in PR. I don't do PR hauls on YouTube with 18 boxes behind me showing you all of the stuff that I've gotten. If I started showing you guys everything that I was getting and you're not seeing these products pop up for sale from me, I hope that you would know that, I don't know, that's just not what I'm about. I guess if I was someone who was wanting to like sell my PR and really make a profit from getting, you know, some really amazing products from brands that could sell for a very high amount and all of that, I would probably make a different account under a different name, just being honest with you. I don't really understand why I'd be doing everything under my name, just to be serious. Like, I don't know. So I don't know, I guess there's that too, because that was one of my thoughts, was like, if I was really trying to do something that I've come out and said like, hey, I don't do this, but then I was doing it, like, wouldn't I try to at least hide it? I don't know. That's what I think. In regards to that, and going back to like me basically shutting down my Poshmark because I caught myself making a mistake, and I thought, well, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm afraid I'm gonna make another mistake, so instead I'm just not gonna do anything with it. Isn't that crazy? I don't want to do something because I'm afraid I could mess up. So my thought process was, I'm just not going to do it. Imagine if I lived my life that way, if you lived your life that way, not doing something for fear of messing up, but also what's bigger too is not doing something for fear of judgment. That was a big thing that played into this too. You know, especially when I'm getting comments of there's now Reddit threads about me and all of this stuff, and I'm just thinking the internet's about to attack me and I'm about to be so judged. My morals are going to be judged, my ethics are going to be judged, my integrity is going to be judged. So I'm just not going to do something because I'm too afraid to make a mistake. Why would I put out books? Why would I continue to make YouTube videos? Why would I really do anything in life? Something's always going to be open for judgment, and there's always going to be a chance that you're going to make a mistake, make a wrong decision. How can you live your life that way? The thing is like, I know my intentions, and I know everything that goes into obviously the back end of everything that it is that I'm doing. I'm going like this because I have giveaway boxes all around my room. I know what all goes into that, but not everyone sees that. But more so to the fact, not everyone wants to see that. We live in a world of cancel culture. We live in a world where people seek out when other people mess up. This is what people want to see. Was there a Reddit thread about me when I ran the donation drive with Ashley Clady? When we took donations and we took our time to go to Kansas City to drop them off, to work with the Des Moines shelter to drop off donations? Was there a Reddit thread about me when I did that? Is there a Reddit thread about me when I run giveaways as often as I can on every single platform? Is there a Reddit thread about me when I contact a subscriber randomly on Instagram and say, thank you so much for your support. I have a few items that I'd like to send you if you want to give me your address. Is there a Reddit thread about me that every single month I include a creator shout out in my videos and I try as hard as I can to preach community over competition? Is there Reddit threads about me about that? Hold please, I need to cool down. I said it before in videos, before any of this even came to light, because it hasn't even been a week yet, that there are people and communities and channels and whatnot that only seek to find the worst in people. And where are the communities and the channels that bring people up, that spotlight when people do good? Because people are going to make mistakes every single day. It is going to happen. You're going to make a mistake. You who are watching this, that's writing a Reddit thread about me making a mistake, I bet you've made a mistake. And I bet you're gonna make another one. How would it feel to try your best every single day and still know that there are people out there that are only seeking to bring you down? That sucks. Welcome to the internet. Welcome to 2019. Welcome to how our culture got to this. I don't know. It blows my mind every day. It truly does. I remember getting so fired up in a live chat talking about the poor kid from Iowa who just wanted some beer money, who got turned into an example of why you shouldn't be a 15-year-old with social media and have it come back to bite you 8 years later. Like, stuff like this just blows my mind. So when I found myself in the middle of it, knowing how sick I felt and knowing how scared I felt, I'm still a very small YouTuber. I'm a very small channel. I mean, there can be one rumor about me and everything can be gone. Everything that I've been working for 10 years can be gone because someone can decide that they don't like me, so let's try to find bad things about her. It's very scary. It makes me question, like I've been questioning this entire week, do I want to continue doing this? I said it to Midge several times in the car that I don't want to do this anymore. I quit. It's not worth it to me. Worth it to put myself through having thoughts like that about me when I know, again, I know I'm not the best person. I know I'm not a perfect person. I know that I'm going to continue to make mistakes, but I know inherently that I am a good person and that I try really hard and I try my best every single day. I know that about me. I know a lot of you know that about yourselves. And there still is going to be times when we mess up. But to get back to the whole, I'm not going to do something because I'm too afraid I'm going to make a mistake and I'm too afraid of the judgment, that would be such a sad way to live your life. And I know that someone's going to point out that, again, like I said, literally 0 bad comments have come through about this Reddit thing. Or if they have, my filter that I have on for certain comments and certain words have caught them, and I don't even go into that folder. So I don't even know. Maybe they have and they just haven't come to light on my YouTube channel on my end. But the thing with that, and like why pay more attention to negative comments than the positive comments, is because negativity either cancels people or that's what gives them attention. When's the last time that you heard about a channel doing really well because they did something good? They did something positive. We hear, you know, especially I'm referencing the beauty community in general, but we hear about people and we see people getting a lot of success usually when they do something wrong or there's something controversial about them or they've posted a controversial subject. I'm saying that it never happens that people who, you know, are positive and lovely get a lot of kudos, but it's more rare. It's more common these days to, like, when the beauty community hits mainstream media, it's because there's a controversy, there's a fight, there's a makeup launch gone wrong. That's what gets put into mainstream media. And that sucks. I did just want to say that because I know, and that's an argument I have with myself. I used to be someone who, like, I would want to post negative comments all the time. Like, I'd want to post, you know, a negative comment and, you know, defend myself. But I'm like, you know, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to give those people the time. And that's why I have a folder saved on my phone and I screenshot the really nice comments and I go back to that folder all of the time and read those nice comments. They mean so much to me. But I'm just trying to give a little perspective here about things that can ruin people online and in real life. I mean, I saw it happen in Iowa. If you guys aren't familiar, just Google Carson King, Iowa, and read that story. That'll get me all fired up if I start talking about that. But what was really interesting to me, when Mitch and I were driving down to Kansas City, we listened to a podcast that we both really like. It's called Pardon My Take. They have a guest interview on, and it's Joe Buck. If you guys are familiar with sports, you probably recognize Joe Buck. He called the World Series. He's usually with Troy Aikman in the booth for NFL games. Something that he said, though, that I thought was so interesting that I really took away from that podcast was, he said not too long ago, because he's, you know, getting ready to call the World Series. At the time they were being interviewed, it was the Astros and the Yankees were still playing, but he knew he was going to call the World Series. He said, a while ago, I decided to listen to the first World Series that I ever called. He was in his 20s. He went back and he listened to it and he goes, you know what I thought was super interesting, and I'm paraphrasing here, this is not word for word, but again, I recommend the podcast. But he said, what's so interesting is, you know, I'm in my 20s back then. It's a different time. Social media and the internet is not what it is back then. And he goes, I was so relaxed and I was so confident. He goes, I was so much more confident calling my first World Series game as a man in my 20s than I am now. After a huge career in radio and sports broadcasting, and as an older man, I don't know exactly for sure how old Joe Buck is, but he's like, I had more confidence back then than I do now because of how our world has changed. I have to be so much measured, and I know people are looking for me to make a mistake. And I thought, how freaking fascinating is that? And he's going through and he's talking about it, and he's talking about the times that he has messed up and the times that he saw, you know, his name trending on Twitter for, you know, a mistake that he made during a game, or, you know, why people don't like him, or, you know, different things like that. And I looked over at Mitch at one point and I just go, I am really relating to what he is saying right now. And Mitch goes, yeah, I bet, because we were just talking about that. How wild was it for me to hear Joe Buck, who has been in his industry for, I mean, years and years and decades at this point, to say that he felt more confidence 20 years ago, because nowadays people are actively looking for that one mistake. They're not looking for the times when you do good so they can tell people about it. They're looking for that mistake so they can tell people about it. When I first started blogging, which was 10 years ago, I wasn't worried about hate. Who would be hating me? That had no thought process at all into starting making a blog. I wasn't worried about mean comments. I wasn't worried about trolls. That wasn't even a thing 10 years ago. I mean, I'm sure like things popped up here and again, but that wasn't a thing we were worried about. It's interesting because when I talk to people these days, and I get it in the comment section, and I get emails from people saying, I want to start my own YouTube channel, but I'm so afraid of the hate. I'm so afraid of the bad comments. I'm so afraid I don't have a thick enough skin. When I was starting a blog 10 years ago, I was thinking, I don't know anything about coding. I don't know how to build a blog. Will I have enough things to talk about? Do I have enough money to keep buying books so I can keep reviewing them? That's what I was thinking about. Never once did I think about bad comments and having a thick enough skin. So it's just so interesting how our world has changed. And it was just such a timely podcast to be listening to as I'm berating myself for making a mistake and thinking everyone hates me and I don't want to do things anymore because I'm so afraid of judgment, and I'm so afraid I'm going to screw up and people are going to be, you know, at the ready to ridicule me. And then I hear Joe Buck say those words this morning. So it's Thursday. Again, I took pretty much all of Wednesday just off from the internet in general. I went to a concert with my friends. So much fun. Beartooth, I Prevail, A Day to Remember. It was great. It was really nice to be around my friends. We've moved away, so it was really nice to be around some people. And so this morning I'm sitting down. I was like, really need to catch up on YouTube. Don't know what anyone's doing. Don't know what anyone's talking about. There's probably a new drama I'm not aware of. Like, I should watch a video. And I see Raw Beauty Christy has posted a video. It's titled something like, let's get it all out, or let's talk about it while I do makeup. It's a Chatty Get Ready With Me from Christy. One of my, like, I highly enjoy her channel, very much respect Raw Beauty Christy. And she starts talking and she's like 3 minutes into the video and I'm just like, preach sister. I'm like bowing to my computer. I'm like, namaste. I mean, she is literally taking the words out of my head and saying them. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And I left her this big old long comment that probably got blocked because I said the F word in it. I was repeating song lyrics, but I hope she sees it, because I was telling her that, you know, her videos, especially her Chatty Get Ready With Me, where she gets a little bit more personal, they always resonate with me. They always leave me with something to think about, but even more, they make me feel not alone. And I'm so appreciative for people who are able to talk about these subjects. Not saying everyone should, because it's not easy, but I really respect people who can open up about it, because good Lord, she helped me out today. And one thing that she was saying was that it really doesn't even matter what she says on the internet. Someone's going to find a way to misunderstand or misinterpret what she's saying. And it took me to that Tati video in my first Will I Buy It, when I was talking about Tati Beauty and if I'm going to get the eyeshadow palette. It doesn't matter what I said in that video. People are either coming to hate on Tati or people are coming to hate on me because I hadn't already purchased a palette that wasn't even available. You know, I didn't have the price for it. And even though I'm saying like, yeah, I'm interested and I watch her videos and I just want to see the price and, you know, da-da-da. If people love Tati, they were roasting me for, again, like pretty much not already buying a palette that's not even on sale, you know, just stuff that doesn't make sense. If people didn't like Tati, they were saying the worst things about her, and I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with people coming to my channel and just laying into another creator. I don't believe in that. Whether I don't like the creator or not, it doesn't matter. I don't think that's okay. I would hate for someone to come to my video and see their names just being slandered in my comment section. Ew, no. I'm getting just these bizarre comments. I mean, I'm getting comments from people saying, Tati has done so much for you over the years. How could you not support her? And I'm like, what? I don't even know her. Like, she doesn't even know me. Like, what are you talking about? I think you have me confused with someone else. And I mean, of course, there's just like so much negativity just around everything. It was just, oh my gosh, the comments in my Will I Buy It, not even that day, but it was really like the prior days. I was, again, like I said in my second Will I Buy It, that I was able to see that people were searching out Tati Beauty and finding my video that way and coming to leave hate one way or the other. And that's what talked me out of buying her palette and reviewing it, because I know that people are gonna come and they're already gonna know what they want me to hear. This is the thing. People know what they want me to say, and if they don't hear it, it'll make them mad no matter what it is I say. Because again, I said in that video, I like Tati, I watch her videos, I'm excited for this palette. But because I, again, hadn't already bought a palette that's not ready for sale, or I wasn't just like, yes, absolutely, doesn't matter the price, it could be $150, I'm purchasing that palette, I don't care. Someone was telling me that I'm a horrible person because I don't support someone who's done so much for me over the years, which doesn't even make sense. People know what they want to hear, and if they don't hear it, it doesn't matter what you say, they will slam you for it anyways. It makes no sense. But like what Christy was saying is that people will misunderstand what it is you're saying on the internet all of the time. And she said it's made her scared to share certain things about her. But you know what? She's gonna keep doing it. Because maybe what she says will relate to one person. And I wanted to write in and say, that's me. I'm that person. You are helping me. Thank you. What's even funnier in this whole thing, this video is going to be like an hour long. What's even funnier in this whole thing is that morning I recorded a podcast. I post a podcast every Thursday. I had just gotten a new mic and I recorded a podcast Wednesday night. Went to edit it Thursday morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm up after a concert, not getting home till 1 o'clock because we have an hour and a half drive. Get up, put my headphones on, I start listening, and my audio for the podcast didn't record through my microphone. Because I got a new microphone and it wasn't set up correctly. It recorded through my laptop speakers. It sounded terrible. I was like, well, I can either put it out and let people know I made a mistake and, you know, I know it's not the best, or I can take another 40 minutes, re-record it, and then edit it. And it'll be up a little bit late. I was like, I'll just re-record it. I was kind of rushed when I was filming the podcast episode anyways. There was a couple things I didn't touch on in the original one that I wanted to. So I was like, no big deal, I'll just re-record. So I re-recorded that podcast. I'll have my links down below. My podcast is called Start Inspired. But I was sharing in there, the 4th episode is how I found my why at 11 years old. And I go into discussing the abusive situation at 11 that really set off everything that I've tried to accomplish in life, and how I realized through sharing my stories I was able to help another friend who was being abused come forward, and how life-changing that was at 11 years old to hear, just because I wanted to stop having something happen to me in my body that I wasn't okay with, helped someone else. Again, this is pre-internet days. I'm a child. I'm not thinking I'm going to share my story and help someone. I just wanted it to stop, right? again, I'll link the podcast. It's 30 minutes if you want to hear me tell the whole story. I've learned from that situation that I'm okay to be open and share stories, because I hope that I can help people like my friend back in the 6th grade. And when I get messages from people saying that they were able to relate to my stories, or they were able to do something because of one of the stories that I told, that means so much to me. And I encourage people to give feedback to those who are helping you, because it means so much. If my friend hadn't told me that me coming forward is why she came forward, I don't know if I would have been on this career path, this path to be able to reach more people, to share more stories, to maybe help someone one day. I don't know if I would have. When I hear from people that me opening up and sharing is helping someone, it encourages me to keep opening up and to keep sharing, even though it's so scary to be this vulnerable and put so much stuff out about you on the internet, because like Christy said, it's only giving people more to attack you with, more to judge you by. But if you're helping people, that's the bigger thing. And there are truly people out there like myself, like Christy, like so many other creators, like so many other wonderful viewers who do so much in their personal lives. Of us out there that are willing to be uncomfortable, that are willing to be vulnerable, because we would love to help people. And that's such an important thing. So it's just so interesting that 2 hours earlier I recorded a podcast saying exactly that. I hope I'm helping one person, if I can reach one person. And then I watched Christy's video and she's saying that exact same sentiment. So I'm writing in, "You're helping me, your videos mean so much to me, I relate to this, thank you for being so candid." It's just so funny, you know. So with all that said, that's today's video. Over the notes I've made, I have 2 pages of notes for today's video. And I talk about Christy's video. You know, she's so afraid to share because the internet will misunderstand what they want to. Mentioned Tati's palette, comment that didn't make sense. That had me fearful of purchasing a palette, of putting out a review. I'm fearful of the comments. I'm fearful to get a dog because of backlash. Like, the things that I'm afraid of because of the internet and the things that I don't do is wild. And to try to tell this to someone, to try to tell this to one of my friends in real life who doesn't understand the internet and how cruel it can be, they look at me like I'm the weirdest person. Crazy what I'm afraid of because of judgment on the internet. And it's so funny because in Christy's video, I put song lyrics, and I put song lyrics on my Instagram today. I saw I Prevail in concert last night, their song Hurricane. One of the lyrics is, "Lately, I don't give a F word, because I can't be myself when I'm with anyone." And those lyrics keep playing in my head, and I even shared it on my Instagram today. Lately, I don't give a F, because I can't be myself when I'm with anyone. Lately, that's how the internet has been making me feel. I'm so afraid of judgment. I'm so afraid of being attacked. I'm so afraid of making a mistake. I'm so afraid of doing something that I know one person out there isn't gonna like, but they might be that one person that runs to a freaking Reddit thread and talks about it. I'm afraid. The last thing I wrote on my notepad, I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to be afraid. I felt like those were really powerful words that I wrote down, and it really caused a reaction in me to say those out loud. And that's something that I'm going to strive for. I don't want to be afraid to be able to share a review on my channel. I don't want to be afraid to get a dog. I don't want to be afraid to have a baby because I'm terrified of mom shaming. I don't want to be afraid of the internet and of other people's ways that they decide that they want to view me and the parts that they want to tear down. I don't want to be afraid. And I'm going to try my damn hardest to keep being me. Another part of the song says, "I don't know why I drown my mind in everything they say." How true. Because I let my thoughts run away when I feel attacked or I feel judged on the internet. And I need to not do that. It's hard when I know that I'm struggling with mental health because I'm already just in a weak spot. I already have a loud enough voice right here telling me how bad I am and how I don't deserve things. So when I see things on the internet or comments, or I learn that there's red threads about me, it makes those voices louder, it makes them double, it makes them triple. I drown my mind in everything that I say. How fascinating. Something that I'm going to try to be better at. And just like Christy said in her video today, she's going to keep sharing because she hopes it reaches at least one person and it helps them. That's what I want to do. That's been my mission since I was 11 years old, and I realized the power of sharing my stories. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this Get Ready With Me. I'm sure the comments are going to be all over the place. I'm a little bit nervous to read them, I'm not going to lie. But I hope that you took something away from this. And I hope that you enjoyed this very simple brown smoky eye look using my Shop My Stash bag from November. And to all the people out there that are just doing their best, keep doing you. Remember that no one knows you better than you know yourself. And if you know that you're out there doing your best, that's what matters. There's always going to be judgment around us, whether we have the internet or not. There's always going to be someone to judge. There's always going to be someone that will misunderstand you. But that shouldn't stop us, and that shouldn't make us afraid. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did enjoy it, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in my next video.